Muy buenas tardes a todos. Bienvenidos a esta segunda jornada. Es la jornada de la tarde de nuestro primer día. Perdón, no tengo micrófono. Sí tengo micrófono. Discúlpeme. Es nuestra segunda jornada de nuestro día. Tuvimos unas experiencias increíbles esta mañana. Les agradecemos a todos por su asistencia. En nombre del grupo de investigación Ciclo, del Centro de Investigación de Culturas, Lenguas y otros Saberes, para mí es un gusto poder presentar el día de hoy a la profesora María Arela Ortiz, quien va a ser la moderadora de esta ponencia, y a las profesoras Dina Esperanza Bonilla y la profesora Liliana, quienes nos van a acompañar. Profesora Mari, tengo este gusto, por favor, de presentar y moderar esta presentación. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, profe Diego, así es. Entonces les damos la bienvenida nuevamente a la tarde de nuestro primer día de encuentros en encuentros significativos, hacemos historia. Bueno, para empezar esta tarde tenemos el placer de atender a esta presentación de las docentes Dina Esperanza Bonilla y Liliana Moreno de la Universidad Nacional Abierta y a Distancia UNAD, con más de 8 o 10 años de experiencia en el área virtual. La profesora Dina Esperanza Bonilla es licenciada en lenguas extranjeras, especialista en pedagogía en derechos humanos y especialista en educación superior. Y nuestra docente Liliana Isabel Moreno Cervera, quien es profesional en lenguas extranjeras y magíster en educación online. Tenemos entonces el placer y les damos la bienvenida muy calurosa a esta presentación Reaching English Learners Through Online Environments Before and After the Pandemic. Profesoras, bienvenidas. Es un placer recibirlas y la sesión es toda suya.
Muchas gracias.
Okay, Professor Lina, can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Okay, let me see, I'm sharing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's coming out. All right. Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to take part in this important academic event. Thank you for inviting us. And today, we want to share some experiences from school education at UNAT. This is Dina Bonilla and my colleague Liliana Moreno, professors from the program Bachelor of Arts in Foreign Languages with major in English. So we are going to talk about this topic, reaching English learners through online environments before and after the pandemic. Well, this is the topics we will talk. The first one is the impact of distance education in pandemic time, and the second is learning and teaching experiences in online environments at UNAT. Okay, let's start with the first topic, and the sudden appearance of the pandemic that caused blackout in educational institutions caused a shock in teaching learning environments, and also determined that distant education, instead of fighting to defend their rights, expecting to be institutionalized and recognized, became the only way to guarantee the right educational worldwide. This was absolutely reversal of the terms of the situation that we can have been experiencing up to the moment. We went from defending the rights of distance education to guarantee academic cycles in all the institutions of the world. Certainly, this new change about virtual mediation empowered distance education. And it is relevant at this point to look over some concepts. For example, the meaning of educational institutions. So when we reflect upon this term, we think about a geographic place, a building, a facility, and so forth. But if we go further to reflect about what an educational institution is, we will come up to the conclusion that indeed it is about an intangible tie that could be similar to the virtuality. This tie, this intangible tie gives up a physical place, but as a matter of fact, it is not just a space of a reference for the whole educational community, but it cannot be summarized in a campus or a facility. If we could reconceptualize the educational institution or handle it with another definition concept, certainly this crisis of the closure of the classroom, of the buildings, of the universities would not have been a trauma because the educational community has a wider concept than just the educational institution. Perhaps it could be a trauma, but also an opportunity to expand the horizons of teaching, to innovate, taking into account the pedagogical architecture. What is that? It is the developing strategies that led us to put together the pedagogical foundations in online environment. Well, there is no doubt that virtual education is here to stay, to be accelerated, and included in all educational processes. The fourth industrial revolution is characterized by the use of technological systems, big data, nanotechnology, and all the tools that must be linked and that must be taught in a school so that educational system is lean and connected to the educational of the 21st century. It's clear that due to the COVID-19, some actions have been developed, such the creation of contingency plans, and it is here where distance education is a sort of ideas, right? How it's done, how it's taught in a distant modality. A series of webinars, conferences, and even training workshops for teachers on mediation strategies have been developed. For example, the UNAT trained several groups of teachers from public and private schools in Boyacá on the use of digital tools for teaching and learning. Compulsory to the pandemic for the first time, most of the teachers were encouraged to explore new methods for teaching. We have heard about the concept innovation and education, but those terms have been taught in separately ways. But now is the time to use in this situation that we as a teacher should innovate with those approaches, with new sources for teaching and learning. It is important also to describe the UNAT pedagogical model as an example of e-learning because UNAT is supported by this model. So I want just to share that UNAT offers an education focused on meaningful, autonomous, and collaborative learning, supported by pedagogical and technological mediations. It recognizes and its ethical learning for its wide communicative and interactive potential, and for the possibility that it offers to promote the construction of meanings through the handling of information mediated or through by different types of technologies. So bearing in mind all these concepts, Michael and Liliana Moreno will share you a meaningful presentation that our program, Bachelor of Arts in Foreign Languages, has been implementing before and after the pandemic. So go ahead, Liliana. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dina. Taking our UNAD pedagogical model as a point of view, as you can see here, it is composed by several dimensions in which the student is in the center. Some of these dimensions are these two very relevant for online learning. That is what we are talking about today. The e-mediations talk about pedagogical constructions for accompaniment that articulates methods, strategies, technopedagogical resources, and pedagogical and didactic interactions to facilitate and promote the construction of knowledge. Also, the e-mediums, what in Spanish we call e-medios, give account of the resources that facilitate the handling of didactic contents and ways of interacting and complement the process of construction of knowledge with actions such as carrying out practices and developing assessment. Just a very quick look about the virtual learning environment. Because, well, many definitions we have currently about it. But it is generally defined as a teaching learning process or activity that takes place outside of physical space, outside a classroom. And at the same time, or at different time, okay, it can happen synchronous or asynchronous, and through the internet. They offer certainly a diversity of means and resources to support teaching. However, we have to be aware that they do not determine the models and didactic strategies, because the knowledge of or access to these resources does not exempt teachers from in-depth knowledge of learning conditions. That means that technology itself is not going to guarantee a good learning and teaching process. Just it provides, yes, teachers with a new pedagogical vision that is enriched by the use of these technologies. Now, in our program, Bachelor of Arts in Foreign Languages, with major in English, our students have diverse strategies available that support them to foster their English language learning through asynchronous and synchronous strategies and tools. And this has been happening longer before the pandemic. So let's say that we were kind of like prepared to face this situation that we have right now worldwide. Our students come with a virtual campus. In the virtual campus, they have the accompaniment of a tutor per course. In each course, they have an agenda, they have a syllabus that provide all the information about the training purposes, about the objectives, the materials, and all this online content is in diverse formats. Also, the learning guides and rubrics that they develop and allow them to build their knowledge along with other peers in small groups through forums, participation in forums, through the performance of different quizzes. So that is the synchronous, different time, different space, but always with their platform available 24/7. Now, as we know, for enhancing the language, our especially speaking skills, that as we know are the ones more difficult when we are learning a foreign language, and we have other strategies that happen at the same time, but in different space. And that is a huge advantage of online environments. So some of these strategies are the strategy of be-learning, as you know, the blended, that tries to come with the best of the face-to-face interaction and the online environment. We used to have encounters face-to-face in all the branches of UNAT along the country. After the pandemic, well, we are still having this, allow our students to strengthen their communicative skills. These are also voluntary participation, but they anyway imply some score for some courses that students, especially of first term, are starting with our program. We have also another strategy that we called in UNAT CIPAS, which is the acronym for Círculos de Interacción y Participación Académica y Social. And these used to be also like in situ encounters, in which students, with the guidance of a teacher or of another student, agree on meeting several times during the term. Also, to reinforce English specifically from the point of view of our program. Okay, these CIPAs are also being developed right now through Skype or through Teams or to Meet, for example. But our students can keep on this contact and this interaction with peers and their tutor to enhance their language skills. And from about or since for 3 years, we have been working with the LILEI online community. LILEI is the short for Licenciatura en Lenguas Extranjeras con énfasis en inglés, and it's a community for a free practice of speaking and listening skills. This is offered to all the students of the program, and they have different types of encounters or strategies according to their level. So they are going to find, for example, chats one-on-one in which they will discuss about a topic. There is a topic for each week. And okay, in this week we are going to talk about this cultural topic, for example, something that can be controversial or not, or something about the culture. In a conversation of 15 to 20 minutes, interaction between a tutor and a student. Also defined by level. Another strategy is the open weekly encounters, in which small groups of 4 or 5 students in charge of a tutor also, or a very advanced student of English level, interact also about a cultural topic, or they can reinforce a specific function of the language, for example. They have to subscribe every week, and they choose because every week different schedules are offered in different time frameworks, and the student just subscribe and has this encounter with a tutor in charge. Another possibility for them is the grammar time, in which, as it is said, the idea is to enhance grammar, or to have it with a very specific function, with a more communicative purpose, of course. And these are also encounters of 1 hour, and in very small groups. So they have that chance to practice and to reinforce the speaking for that specific grammar point. Well, as you know, now with the regulation of the Ministry of Education, the students of any Bachelor of Language in Colombia have to demonstrate a language level before graduation. So in our program, students take a test, a standard test, just to diagnose their level of graduation. Right now they are required B2, but as you know, because of Resolución 18583, After September the 15th, that requirement is going to be C1. So in the community, in our Linear Online community, our students have the chance to be prepared for this test. Now, well, the level is going to increase. It's going to be more demanding, but we're sure we will be able to keep on preparing our students with this possibility also, their test preparation. These are some of the strategies that we had. But 3 years ago, we started to join, like to allow our student teachers in the last semester, when they perform their practicum in online environments. We have in our program, in the first practicum, they perform their teaching of English in a face-to-face environment. But in the second one, they do it in an online environment. And the online environment is provided through the interaction of different ICT tools like Skype or Teams now, because we are using the institutional email of our students. So we have created a system to have groups from our first-term students who are starting their learning in the program, from courses like English 1, English 2. They are divided according to their level and assigned to one of our student teachers from the last term, who have already very good command of the language, of course, and who along the program have acquired the teaching didactic skills for the language. So we come up, these are screenshots of real classes our student teachers in this course called Pedagogical Experience to teach English and especially reinforce the speaking skills of our students of first term, to have that opportunity, a real context, and of course in real time, to interact in very small groups and with the support of a person who obviously is giving them everything that they have learned along the program, regarding teaching and regarding the language learning. And this has been happening long before the pandemic, and we keep on doing that, and we hope we will keep in the future. So fortunately, we weren't very affected due to the pandemic situation, because thanks to ICT, thanks to interaction in real time, that allows all this marvelous world of online environments, we kept on continuing with the process, and that's what we hope in this term that we are going to start pretty soon. Okay, so these were the strategies that we wanted to share with you today. So thanks a lot for your attention, and we'll be attentive if you have any questions.
Muchas gracias, profe, por la presentación. Bueno, en este momento estamos revisando nuestro chat de YouTube para saber si tenemos algunas preguntas relacionadas con la presentación. Por ahora, pues tenemos unos muy buenos comentarios acerca de la presentación. Ha sido muy enriquecedora. Tenemos el comentario de la profesora Aleida Ariza, quien está de acuerdo con el tema planteado y propone, agree, the pedagogical, not the technological aspect, is the pivotal axis of remote learning. Es un comentario a la presentación que se ha planteado el día de hoy. Entonces, pues estamos esperando si hay alguna pregunta de nuestros asistentes a la presentación para poderla plantear en la sesión. Recibimos otro comentario de Christian Coy, quien nos dice, very interesting and pertinent presentation. Thanks for sharing it with us.
Okay, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Bueno, tenemos un nuevo comentario de Laura Marcela Mejía, quien nos dice, gracias, totalmente orgullosa de ser estudiante de estas nuevas metodologías de enseñanza, no solo en épocas de pandemia. Y
Gracias.
pues muchos agradecimientos de parte de muchos asistentes el día de hoy, pues por esta presentación tan enriquecedora con una temática tan amplia y pues más que bienvenida pues por su experiencia tan amplia en este campo que para muchos hasta el momento ha sido algo nuevo y pues algo en lo que estamos empezando a trabajar. Muchas gracias, profe Dina, muchas gracias, profe Liliana, siempre bienvenidas. Le doy paso entonces a nuestra organizadora Lisette Moreno para futuras instrucciones. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias por esta presentación tan enriquecedora. Nuestros asistentes, mil y mil gracias por participar, por darnos sus comentarios a través de nuestro YouTube Live. En estos momentos, pues estamos organizando algunas cosas logísticas para nuestra siguiente presentación, así que los invitamos a que permanezcan ahí, que nos esperen un momentito y nosotros ya estaremos transmitiendo con ustedes nuestra siguiente presentación. Profesora Liliana y profesora Dina, muchísimas gracias por los aportes que nos han dado el día de hoy y esperamos tenerlas en próximos encuentros.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias.
Bueno, a ustedes,
Buenas
a la
tardes.
UPTC, muchas gracias.
Ok, en contados minutos estaremos con la siguiente presentación. Esperamos ustedes nos tengan unos minutitos de paciencia y ya vamos en vivo.